Well, a 33,000 acre fire continues burning tonight on Fort Hood. Take a look at this map. It shows you just how much the fire has spread so far. The greenish area you see on your screen is how large the prescribed burn area is.
And 6 News reporter Darren Wallace headed out to some of the badly burned areas of central Texas and talks to the firefighters putting their lives on the line to put out those flames. And reporter Andrew Moore on the left takes a look at whether anything could have prevented the fires from starting in the first place. And right now, we know that the wildfire on Fort Hood is 55% contained, and that fire near Flat is contained at about 50%.
While homeowners near Flat are no longer in danger, they are still wondering what precautions Fort Hood took to keep this from happening. 6 News reporter Andrew Moore was out near Flat today. He tells us more about what's going on. Andrew?
Fort Hood says they've maintained more than 800 miles of fire breaks over the last year and said they've done controlled burns to keep other fires from spreading. So we went out to Flat today to find out where some of these breaks were and where those other measures were done. For those of you still wondering, a fire break is simply a strip of land with no vegetation which prevents a fire from spreading. Even a large dirt road can work. When we drove along the boundary of Fort Hood's range near Flat, we didn't see any, but we did see bulldozers out on the range now, so those breaks could be farther back. At the same time, Fort Hood did conduct controlled burns near this area back in January, according to the Fort Hood DES Facebook page. That's left some homeowners wondering, how did the fires get so close? One sent us this video today.
Why do they not cut breaks in there? You know what I mean?
I guess it's what they consider these are. They got 2 more pretty good sized dirt roads.
Yeah, but look at them trees.
Fort Hood also said their fire chief would be getting back to us with some information today, and Fort Hood Garrison Commander Colonel Chad Foster said yesterday they will be reviewing this incident all summer to improve safety. We also asked Foster directly about the possibility of improving these fire breaks. Find out what he said coming up at 6 o'clock. In Corio County, Andrew Moore, 6 News.
All right, thanks, Andrew. Now today, volunteer firefighters who helped fight that blaze are reflecting on what they have been seeing, and they say their work is still not done.
6 News reporter Darren Wallace joins us now live in the studio to tell us how the firefighters are after days of fighting the fires that have burned thousands of acres. Good evening, Darren.
Good evening, guys. I went down to the Flat Volunteer Fire Department just outside Fort Hood today, where the fire did most of its damage, and spoke with a volunteer firefighter there who says this was the biggest fire he's ever dealt with personally. Sean Stafford says his unit got a call at 2 p.m. on Sunday that it was time to spring into action. What they saw on Fort Hood was 17,000 acres worth of fire that even made its way into Gatesville and Flat. But Stafford says they still have more work to do.
Right now, we're still trying to battle flare-ups, putting water out, getting it on there so the wind don't pick it up and make it worse than what it already is.
These photos you're seeing come from the Disrance family, who say the fires came right up to their backyard. They went on to say they're incredibly thankful for the work of the local fire departments who kept them safe and limited the damage. Stafford tells me the fires right now are only about 55% contained, so there is indeed still work to be done. And he says today's high winds certainly do not help. Later at 6, find out what it was like on Sunday facing the fires head on. Guys?
Yeah, Darren, thank you for that update. Scary stuff. Those pictures all too close. Thank you.